All
So
right.
I guess we can just kind of talk about Cyrus sent us his thoughts through GroupMe, so we'll kind of just update you on what he said. His thoughts were that we should break down the paper and everybody take a section. And he suggested 500 to 1,000 words or 2 pages that everybody would write, and then we could combine it and piece it together, however, and then discard the rest. Is that what he said?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the gist of it.
Okay.
I think doing 2 pages per person
Too
would be
much.
a little hard.
Yeah, it's
because
only
you
10
can only
pages.
have 10 pages.
Right.
So I think maybe doing just a little over 1 page would be fine. Because,
Right.
I mean, not everyone needs a lot of information in each section, too. And we'll each have to do our own stakeholders, which will probably take up a big portion of the paper. But correct me if I'm wrong, did she say anything about citations? I couldn't find it anywhere, but I'm kind of shocked that she doesn't want any, like, references.
Yeah, she does want some. They count for, I think, 6 points out of the paper.
Okay.
But there's not a limit. There's not a
Okay,
minimum
that's
max.
good. Okay, that helps.
Okay, so what do y'all think's the best way to break down this, all of these sections?
Well, I tell you what, since, you guys were so gracious to go with my idea, I have no problem doing the introduction. I don't have the Google Doc open in front of me, but, the introductory part.
Okay.
And I mean, I still have a ton of material left over from our experience. And one of the things that I thought of, I was maybe doing a case study if I could find a really good one, but if not, just go ahead and spell out the problem, the issues that adolescents are finding, and that kind of thing. I figured that should be worth at least 3 or 4 paragraphs.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And I feel like statistics, like if we could find anything statistical, I don't know if that's a legit word, to put in the introduction, it would probably speak volumes to the rest of the paper.
See, and I got all that. And I also noticed on Tara's feedback from the other day that, I mentioned that law enforcement is one of 3 sections, and I have the other 2. The other 2 are a probate court can order a compulsory commitment along with a MD. So I can definitely incorporate all of that into the introduction, and then kind of circle back to, our biggest concern or our thing that we think needs to be addressed is the training given to first responders in the law enforcement capacity. Because one of the things that I noticed when I was looking through stuff yesterday, it's like there are 76 counties in Florida, and they all seem to do it a little differently.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's one of the things that we can pose, in the introduction, that our proposal is that there be a standard.
So that would be also the status quo.
Right, that's in the status quo right now, and I think maybe our proposal would be that we kind of come and make a policy that mandates that every county kind of follows the same template, and kind of make it a standardized, uniform approach specifically to law enforcement first responders. Does that work for you guys?
Yes. So on the status quo part, which would be under the next section, so I guess one person, which, I don't mind doing that, could really summarize and go through all the different policies that they have currently.
Okay, and
Okay.
I'll do the
That's
next
big.
part. I'll do the alternative you're recommending to just keep going. Number 2.
I'll
Okay.
do the alternative number 2 because if that's okay with y'all, I did a lot
Okay.
whenever I was trying to like summarize everyone's synopsis, whatever, the other day. I ended up Googling so much stuff. So if that's okay with y'all, if I could do alternative number 2.
Okay.
Okay, well I'll do
so we're
number
gonna
3. I'll just okay.
No, because there's 2 of them, right?
yes.
Two
well,
alternatives.
there's-
So since Sharif said,
Well, which one do you want? That way we don't do the same. So it's got to be basically 2 alternatives. So whichever one you
Right.
pick, Jordan, I'll pick something else. Because, well, what?
no, I
the-
don't care. I just thought you meant you were going to do the first one. And so I was just going to do the
Oh,
second
oh
one.
no, I'm just saying I'll do whatever our consensus one, our best alternative is. 'Cause it doesn't matter which. It says the alternative we're recommending. So that's, I guess, consensus of the group. And then
So I guess
basically,
we're gonna do the training of the law enforcement as alternative 1.
okay, training. I'm ready. Training of law enforcement.
Right.
Okay.
That one was on our document last
Right.
week. Was it?
Okay. And then now we need to, if that doesn't work, because basically when I read through everything, the conclusion, whenever we get to there, just because these are alternatives, the conclusion may be able to say that our actual alternatives we don't recommend after finding what we wrote. So that's what the
Right.
alternative one is for.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see.
What did y'all want to do as the third thing that we're like evaluating them for? I know she said economical and then another one, and then we had to choose the third one. And she said a lot of people do either administrative or technical. So I wasn't sure if y'all wanted to go with one of those or.
I think the administrative might be a good
Yeah.
angle
Yeah.
because it's going to take the administration of with the county sheriffs, and the way that Florida is set up is, the county sheriffs they cover the wider area other than the metropolitan police departments, say like in Miami, Tampa, or Jacksonville, the 3 biggest cities. So it might be kind of attacking it from an administrative angle and getting what the counties would need to do administratively, to accommodate this additional training. Does that sound good?
No, it makes sense because it
Yeah, that
sounds
makes
like
a lot of sense.
it sounds like what you're saying too, Scott. Since I think what you said, 76 different counties did it different. There needs to be one to make it one consistent approach for the whole state of Florida.
Correct.
But that's also where later on, when it gets to, I don't know how many people are in Florida, but it looks like now for the stakeholder section, it's going to have to be somebody contacting someone in actual Florida.
Right. We have to contact people in Florida
Right.
for suggestions.
Well, I tell you what, if you guys want me to, whoever decides that they're going to do that part, I have no problem contacting some of the, some of the people, the stakeholders that, I have already contacted.
Right.
I already have established relationships. One of the biggest sources of, help through our situation was at first the public information officer. And that all started, I got all of this, all of the key phone numbers and names from a local news reporter that I knew. And so that just was able to build it, and that led it from, she pointed me to this particular position, which opened communication with, the various chief of patrol and the chief of training within the county departments. And so when it comes to the stakeholders, if we just need, quotes or feedback, I can definitely reach out at least to this county. But I would be more than happy to do that if that's what you guys want.
Okay. If
Yeah,
you
that would be great.
since you have those relationships, you
Right.
could probably get more honest feedback from them
Right.
than us blanketly saying, hi,
Yeah.
we're doing a paper for school, and
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the best relationship that came out of my whole situation was the relationship that I established with Dr. Andres Pumariega, who is he came from South Florida and came to University of Florida, and he listened, and he is the director of the pediatric psychiatric department at Shands, which is the biggest hospital at U of Health. So he could be a great resource, and I have no problem reaching out to him at all. And I can call
what's
him
his name
anytime.
again?
It's Andres, and his last name is Puma Riega.
You don't have to spell it. I just thought it was so interesting. I wanted to hear it.
I know that when he called me, and he actually invited me and my wife. This was probably about 2 weeks after all of this happened, and he invited me and my wife to come to meeting with him and all of his physicians that were actually taking care of our son. And so this was actually a situation where knowing somebody important actually helped, because my daughter played soccer with the CEO of U of Health, Shands' daughter, so we got to be pretty good friends. And when I called him and let him know that this happened, he just kind of directed me to these people, and and it just was kind of like a domino effect.
Right.
And we actually did actually effectuate change at the one hospital here in Gainesville. And so I can definitely get from him like some updated statistics and things like that. I think it's going to be important, especially in the introduction, that we talk about the number of compulsory commitments here in the state of adolescents. I'm gonna focus. What do you guys think? 13 through 18.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 13 through 18, yeah. Write
So,
that down.
yeah, I will make sure I can get all of that data, and I'm going to cite all of that in my introduction,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and kill them with numbers and kill them with data, I guess.
Hey, I don't know if y'all saw this either. I wanted to tell y'all. It says make sure y'all keep your emails and stuff like that when you do try to contact stakeholders, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of nervous that nobody's gonna answer me. But it does say, she says, I am looking to see how thoroughly you try to contact stakeholders. So that kind of worries me. So I don't know, maybe we should keep emails and stuff just to have proof in case she's were y'all able to reach out and actually try?
Good point.
Yep, that's a great point. And what I will do is, actually this reporter that I know very well, she is now in Miami. So I will utilize her to get some contact names, down there. And
Yeah, that would be great. Maybe she can tell us who would actually reach back out to us.
Yep. Yeah, that would be great. She actually just went from Gainesville to Fort Myers, and now she's in Miami, where she's from, and she is a tremendous resource. And so whoever's going to reach out to stakeholders, I will try to make sure to give you guys legitimate names and numbers and contacts.
Do you just a question? Do you think it's better that you take the stakeholder section and someone do the introductory? Or,
Whatever you guys.
I mean,
want
just
me
for
to do.
somebody who's not assigned something. I mean, I don't, because we got to get through. Looks like Michaela has conclusion, and then if you're taking
I'm gonna
stakeholders,
just
I'll do
Well,
introduction.
It's letting me
I'll do the
delete,
introduction.
but it won't let me type one here for some reason.
yeah, I'm looking at you typing live, but it's stopping you.
Yeah.
Did we not
Yeah.
each contact our own
Like, it will
stakeholders,
not
or
let me
does
put my
one
name
person?
right there.
I think we do. I'm assuming we contact whoever we put originally on our sheet. But
Right.
I
And then
guess
one person types it in.
yeah, I mean, I guess we can do that. But I guess if we're not able to get in contact with someone, then maybe Scott, whoever you're able to get us in touch
Yeah.
with, that would help. if we're not able to contact whoever we have that we had originally put.
Yeah. I guess we could each put it on the Google Doc and then just like at the end put so and so, so and so, and so and so reached out and couldn't reach, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Just
idea.
Okay.
I mean, is there like a big legal part that y'all could think of this paper that we need to assign to Cyrus?
Yeah.
That would be a good idea because he's like very informed.
Our resources wisely here.
Definitely. Good idea.
I feel like he'd be
It
really
would be
good at like
crazy
the
not to.
feasibility things, you
The
know, like the
feasibility.
economic feasibility and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be spot on with that, like
Yeah.
super, super good at it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's maybe a part under right before evaluation criteria. It says explain how the alternatives will impact your problem. Maybe right there he can put the legal, how it would impact it legally,
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably be
or
something good.
or
a good
even
fit.
above it, you're drawing from other states. What be sure to explain what they did and what the experience was.
I really agree with that, and you know, from my standpoint, if you guys you know, we'll reach out to our stakeholders,
Okay,
and if you guys have any issues with reaching who you need to, just let me know, shoot me an email, and I will try to get us a good contact. Because, you know, the one thing about Florida, outside of Miami, Tampa, and Jacksonville, it is pretty freaking rural.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the county sheriffs are, you know, they kind of run everything. And we could definitely, you know, we could do contrasts and comparisons between metro areas and the rest of the state. And I can definitely pull together the data of, you know, the people that are committed and, you know, help facilitate as best I can you know, you guys being able to at least, you know, make valid attempts to contact them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Hey, Scott,
Yes.
are you familiar with the Delray area?
Delray, Florida, is that South Florida?
Yeah, it's like 20, 30 minutes from Miami.
No, I don't like Miami personally. There's too many people.
Yes. I only asked because my parents live out there, and I like after the fact that I went back and talked to my mom because like my mom's in the medical field too. So I'm gonna just see if she can, if she knows anyone too, just in case we need
Okay.
extra information as well.
I mean, that'll
Just
be
to see,
great.
because that is still Florida, you know.
Yeah, South Florida's
Come back up just in case.
yeah, because South
like
Florida's
y'all
a
were saying, just in case
completely
you don't know
different
the
world than the rest of the state. To be honest with you.
I've never been to South Florida, but I really, really want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's nice. It's
It's
pretty.
a different. It's different.
It
Yeah.
is. It's
I mean,
like
it
it's-
is. It's what you
Oh.
see on TV, literally. Literally, like it is.
Oh.
When I first went, I asked my parents. I was like, "How do you go from Louisiana to Texas to something like that? Y'all are just living the life. Like no kids in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different.
Exactly.
It's different.
They're living the
They're
dream.
like, we're never coming back. I'm like, okay, yeah. But I'll check with that for you guys, and I'll let you guys know.
That'd be great. When is all of this stuff due? I'm kind of looking at due dates and timeline.
I think the 24th, huh?
24th.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's the 24th, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
guess-
who's gonna? Were y'all okay with me taking the introduction? And
Yeah, girl.
If
Whenever.
Okay.
Is there any? Okay, who doesn't have a section?
Okay, I'll need a section. I'm looking at, I guess each person, like one person can do political evaluation criteria, one can do economic, financial, one can do administrative. Y'all want to kind of split that part up that way, or?
For me,
We
I was
could.
thinking if you guys wanted to just forward me the emails you get from your stakeholders, I can kind of compile that information rather than each person doing their own. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
It's fine with me.
That makes sense.
Yep.
it'll make it easier for sure because everyone may not turn theirs in on the Google Doc at the same time. So as you get them, you can kind of.
Right.
Is that where we put Scott was doing stakeholders?
Do you guys want me to do stakeholders then?
Yeah, I thought Scott was doing the.
I'll do stakeholders.
Yeah, we took him off the introduction and put him on stakeholders.
Yeah, it
Gotcha.
looks like Shay has the introduction now, and Scott.
But there's two. What about the two parts of stakeholder? Because
Yeah, we can break it down.
Because it says stakeholders contacted and then stakeholders lessons learned. So I guess what Maria was saying is like maybe when we get that information from each person, she can go ahead and compile it.
Gather it and
Because
gather
it
work
still has to
together.
be written in a paper.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
That way that
Oh, yeah.
so it can be those two on that part. Just to give another
Right.
like section, so it just won't be Scott like doing contacting, and then since we're all gonna do that, and that way she can kind of back him up on like when he's putting everything in, and then everything will fall like under that category of stakeholders.
You go with that,
Just to be,
Maria?
just to dish it out. Perfect.
Awesome.
Maria.
Sounds
Scott.
good. Sounds good to me. And Shay, are you going to do the intro? Okay,
Yes, I
if
am.
you need any help with like data and stuff like that, let me know, or
Of
where to
course.
go get it.
Okay.
I will let you know.
Oh, Scott, you don't have to worry. I will be asking you just in case. And then I was noticing too, which is good to have two people on the stakeholder contact and the lessons learned, because the bulk of the points come from there. One's 15 and one is 10. So I guess once we can still kind of like help out in that area, like just kind of try our hardest to get, contacts for that as well, because that's where the bulk of those two have like the higher 2 points. So we could just go from there. And then I was noticing, like, because I know we had some stuff going on with like the sentence at first. I guess it'll be good if at each section that whoever is good with like grammar and stuff, and we all go and like check each other's stuff just to make sure we're on point with that. Because I mean, it's a 70-point project, so it's not really a lot, but it'll
Right.
seem like a lot because this class, the point system is kind of off.
Yes,
Like it's
yes.
not a lot of points, so we just got to make sure we get everything we can to make sure it's a great.
Yeah, and
paper.
I'm a
So-
grammar freak, so that's why I kind of offered to do some editing.
Well, should, can
Okay,
we?
awesome.
Should we? I noticed. Does everybody use Grammarly, or does everyone use Word documents? So I all use the same thing, because Grammarly and like the Word just spell check and review is totally different.
I
Oh,
use
really?
Grammarly. I
Me
use
too.
them
I'm
both.
Grammarly.
I've
But-
never used Grammarly.
Okay.
It's free. You can add it to your computer. And
Okay.
like even if you get on like the how we have to turn in stuff like in the like on our discussion boards, like Grammarly will pop
Uh-huh.
up
Yep.
and it'll like show green for what's good and it'll show red for what's wrong, and it'll give you options of what you want to choose, like depending on the type of sentence,
Really?
or it'll just give you one. Yes, it's amazing. I use it for my discussion
Oh,
board
that's cool.
because it automatically pops
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, and to be
And it's
honest
free.
with you,
just
that's
download it.
I will
just
definitely
like
have to add it.
that's what the teachers use when they scan through to
Yeah.
go see
It's a
errors.
lifesaver.
Really?
Yeah, they use Grammarly
Really?
because it comes
I
up.
didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that either.
I've gotten an A on every paper in this master's program.
Yep, it's Grammarly. Yep.
I guess I just been so confident in myself as the grammar Nazi. I've never had to worry about it.
Grammarly
yeah.
will teach you some things you didn't know.
Oh
And
boy.
look, I live down here, with
I
all
was
these
like, whoa.
Cajuns. I live with all these Cajuns, and they got all these little signs on the side of the road, maybe selling crabs or this and that, and it drives me insane to read all their signs. Like, I'm that crazy about grammar.
Well, you'll be just fine checking a lot of it. Because I'm sure we'll have mistakes.
But I'm certainly going to download Grammarly. I mean,
yeah, it was pretty good.
So it sounds like we've got a pretty good plan.
yeah, whoever can
Hey,
type
I
can
still-
put me
I
next
still
to
need something to do.
Yeah,
put me
what
next
stuff
to
we gonna
status
do?
quo, whoever can type. And then I can also shade, because like the existing resources and programs, anything I come across while I'm going through all the different counties, I can send stuff to you too of what I might come across.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Chelsea?
Yes.
Help with the stakeholders?
Do y'all want to? Well, okay. This is I don't know. I mean, do y'all want to like break up the evaluation criteria and maybe like each
I
take
think that's
one?
a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a
I'll
good
do
idea.
administrative.
And then, doesn't Cyrus, does he need something? I'm sorry, I don't have the document pulled up, but
Cyrus,
does he
Yeah,
still
we
need
said
something?
he could do legal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
We said he could do something dealing with the legal part of it. And we still have the administrative part, the financial, and then Chelsea, I think she said she would do the which part did you say?
Yeah, I can do administrative. Yeah. But like, okay, I'm trying to understand exactly what that means. Like okay, the evaluation criteria. Like, do we just have to figure out like what part administrative plays in it?
Well, it's going to be like the policy problem of it. According to this, it says evaluation criteria. You will have 3 evaluation criteria. 2 must be political and economic / financial. The 3rd is your team's choice based on your specific problem. Use the team's choice, administrative or technical, but your team project may lend itself to another. Briefly explain the evaluation criteria your team is using, including the X and why these are good choices. So I think a lot of that's going to come, like Scott was saying, from the actual people. Like he was saying, the share, like basically the first responder, and that because they are the administrative, like those are the people who are like over it. Quote me if I'm wrong, Scott. I just was trying to remember what you said when it came to the administrative part. I think that part is going to come like literally from the source of them, and I think we'll probably get a lot of that information too, based on who we talk to from the stakeholders. So yeah, because administrative, you think of that, you think of like leadership, you think of like the top of it, who's going to be doing this. Yeah.
So I guess I'll do the financial part of it. Who was the other person? It was Chelsea administrative and another person for political.
I just put down Rochelle because she doesn't have a part yet, and she said assign her to anything. So
Okay. Oh, something else Cyrus said was that he was going to try to have his section done in the next couple of days so that he could kind of put together an outline. I'm not sure what he meant by that. But
when do we want the rough draft to be due? Should we do like a rough draft date because it's due on the 24th?
Jordan's like, I won't be done this weekend. I'm going to a wedding this weekend, so I won't even be thinking about it because I'll be in Mississippi. So,
okay.
Yeah, let's give ourselves a weekend.
Do y'all want a date?
Shoot for next weekend, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
next
week. Good idea.
And put it all together next weekend. And
I'll have mine done before next Thursday.
Yeah,
me too.
Okay.
Me too.
Sounds good.
And we're gonna put it all
next Thursday if you can. If not, then the weekend. I think.
Yeah.
I'll have mine done for the call next week.
Okay, and we're gonna put it in this doc we're creating now, right? Just add a page. Okay.
This is our last graded call.
I think we're going to add it to here. I'm not sure exactly what kind of document, like outline Cyrus was talking about, but we'll see it, I guess, once he uploads.
Okay.
Well, I think what he's talking about without speaking to him, it says in the first sentence, 10 pages APA, and then it says, if your team needs more than 10 pages, consider using tables and appendixes to convey additional information. I don't know if that's what he's thinking.
I don't think we're going to have a problem getting 10 pages.
I think we're going to have more because everyone.
No, because there's a lot of people have problems with this, so there's going to be a lot of information we'll find.
Yeah.
So is she saying that 10 is the max though? Like that's it? If you need more, then please summarize it. Is that what she's saying?
It says
or does she want us to do an appendix if we do more?
It just says basics 10 pages, so it doesn't say you can't go over, but I guess it needs to be 10 pages.
Okay, I might email her just to get some clarification.
Yeah, cause it just says your team needs more than 10 pages.
Yeah, Jordan.
So, I don't know.
Jordan, if you do email her, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I'll email her just
if you do email her, can you be like, hey, think of some. Yeah, just see if anybody else has anything so we can compile to, get all maybe at once, at once.
For sure. Yeah, I'll try to make
and then use this
by
too.
Sunday or something.
I have one question about Like we have Cyrus next to, if you're drawing from what other states have done, be sure to explain what they did and what their experience was the expected outcome achieved. Is that a separate section, or is that just kind of like something you need to consider when writing up the recommendation?
It sounds optional to me. Like, if y'all did examine other states, then include it here. But if not, then
in part of the alternatives, though, or on a whole separate section. How do y'all take that?
I agree with what Jordan
Probably
said. If you're comparing, if you're saying, like, for example, if the recommendation is something that Louisiana does this, so Florida should do this, then you have to do it. But if we just talk about Florida only, so I think if one of our alternatives was pulling from what the other state does, then you have to use it. So I'll make sure.
We did put our other alternative as, didn't we put having a ER physician evaluate? And I had suggested that because that's what we do here in Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll add that in that alternative then for sure, and figure out I'll add that in there.
I'll send you some information, of what I've seen done that way.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, and I guess the major thing is just I learned in this program that rubrics, which are very important in this program. Like every professor I've had, like they've looked at rubrics, like for anything. Like we could be the best writer, but if you miss anything on the rubric, that's what they take points off, which makes sense. But some people let you slide, but they focus on it. So just take heed to this. Like I've made notes on it just by us talking, just to make sure just in case there's 10, 11 of us, we can all catch something. So let's just work together on that. Like. I say when I'm writing my introduction, I'm just going to check off each bullet as I include it, and then I label it, for myself so I can check it just to make sure we don't. It's better to overanalyze a paper with a rubric than not, in my opinion. So
it is true because I think a lot of them, they really more on technical because they, they got to grade them pretty quickly. So you got to hit those points.
Yes.
And just to clarify, we are still. Are we still meeting next week, even though it's not a grade?
We should.
I think we
should. I agree.
I think we should still meet.
Right, because we might be working on this and realize, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm not finding what I need. I think,
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good idea.
I think it'll give us more direction if we keep just talking about it with one another. It'll help.
Right. I think because once we jump into it, we probably need to need each other's ideas and thoughts to make sure it all fits together.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Well, y'all, I do want to say one thing to you. This is my second master's program, and I've done many group projects, but this has been by far the absolute best team that I've ever worked with. You guys have been amazing, and having gone through this experience, that you guys being willing to make this our project is I've told my wife about it, and she's just like, this is amazing, and so thankful for all of you and the fact that we've made this happen.
I'm sorry it went through it, but I'm glad we had something that was truly heartfelt to work on. And I hate group projects.
Me too, but now I don't. God hate that for me.
I've really enjoyed it.
No, I was nervous. I'm like,
I was thinking, can I drop this class and take it with another teacher to make you do a group project?
I was so worried. It's like, oh crap, there's going to be 12 of us and 2 of us are probably going to do the work.
Yep, that's
normally how it goes.
Yep.
So.
Everybody's doing it. And look, Sharif, thank you. We know your hours are crazy.
I feel so bad because I'm out the country. I got a Japanese cell phone number. I don't know what goes on in group meet. So I try to do everything early because I'm a day ahead. And it just closed. All right. Zoom.